welcome. Welcome back today. Let me make sure I'm not muted. Okay. Yes, yes. So, welcome back, everybody, to the 5 day mindset reset challenge. We have reached day 3. Yesterday, we had reconnect with the body with Chakolaka, the instructor, womb wellness instructor from Bali. And Monday is when we kicked off our challenge with declutter your mind. And we had a guided meditation by Vashti that day. Throughout those 2 days, we learned about belief hacking and also about transformational language. If you hadn't gotten those worksheets, I had dropped them in the Facebook group. You can go in there under files and find it. The Facebook group is called the Mindset Shift if you haven't joined already. So we are just going to go over transformational language from yesterday. I'm going to put that sheet up really quickly. Hopefully, we took some time to pick out some of the words that we know that we say the most, that have to, need to, which was a great exercise that we did yesterday. Hopefully, some of you guys applied some of those techniques today or kept count. Later on, we'll touch base on that again, just when we can have more engagement and catch up and see how everybody did. But without further ado, if you noticed, we are joined today by Miss Ronika Ward. I want to just say, first and foremost, I am so proud of this sister, and she is one of my tribe members. Like Nikki, a tribe member, Ronika is a tribe member. I met her through the mastermind group that we are both a part of. And I just loved what she was doing. She always had a great aura. Any event that I've had, she supported it. What she has, I support it. Like, she just like my business sister for real. So I was so glad that she was willing and able to do this. She is a mother that I am honoring this year at my She is the Village honoree event in Gala. So she's being honored because she is one of my vendors that will supply the services to the single mothers that we help. So
Yeah.
you see how that just works all around. Like, we're a community. We are a real village over here. So enough said about me. Ronika, you can go ahead and introduce yourself if I've left anything out. And we can start with Quiet the Noise.
Ashe. Well, I just want to just give thanks for you to having this platform. Like, I'm glad I showed up every 3 days myself because I learned so much on these calls. So I thank you, Kendra, for allowing me to be a part of this. And we are the tribe. She is the village. So we have to know that and understand that. So I give thanks for that. But today, before I get all into that, I am Ronika Ward, the owner of Pretty Girls Wax Parlor. Pretty Girls Wax Parlor is a full service Brazilian waxing salon. We specialize in Brazilian waxing, but we also focus on the womb wellness care. So I offer yoni steams. We deal with a lot of healing. It's just a healing space. It's so much deeper than a waxing salon. And I'm like, God, you really got me waxing, but it's like it's so much deeper than that. Like, I'm in the portal of Yayani. It's an intimate space. I understand why I had to go through what I had to go through to get to where I'm at because I healed so many women and so many women heal me. It's like an exchange because I can look back when I was going through, just life changes and being in different spaces with different women. They come and give you a message of hope or inspiration that you need when you don't even see a light at the end of the tunnel. So Pretty Girls Wax Parlor is a healing space for so many sisters to come to just feel love, to feel just to heal, because so many women out here are broken. They don't have a tribe. They don't have a village. So I want to create that with Pretty Girl Wax Parlor, and I believe we just doing that, and
Mm.
it's growing, and I'm just so thankful that God allowed me to be a vessel to His people. Like, I'm a vessel. And my story, even how Pretty Girls Wax Parlor got started, like, I didn't have the finances, I didn't have anything, but I had God. I had God, and God said, "This is where I want you at." So I've been really walking by faith and not by sight. Like, I just was obedient. Everybody, even my friend was like, "How did you found a building and you just went for it?" Like, I just went here first, and it's been a trying time. I can't say it hasn't been, but at the same time, it all been worth it. It all been worth it. And I was telling Kendra today, like, I started Pretty Girls Wax Parlor. I was at the lowest point of my life. I was devastated. I went through a horrible breakup, you know. I mean, it was a horrible breakup, you know. So Pretty Girls Wax Parlor was built out of so much pain. So whatever we have to go through to get to where we have to be, you know, our pain pushes to our purpose. And I wouldn't be here today without that pain, without that traumatic experience that I experienced with my ex, you know. So I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for that. You know, that pain
Mhm.
pushed me into my purpose, which puts me into Pretty Girls Wax Parlor. And I pray that we be global so we can touch as many women across the nations, you know. So I
Mhm.
shade for that. I shade for that.
Yes.
Just yes. But I definitely want to get into I just want all us to just take a deep breath before we just get into anything further. Just take a deep breath and breathe from your stomach and be really slow. We're gonna do one more. Just one more to make it count. One more to make it count. And I want you to slowly just open your eyes. Because we carry so much as mothers, as business owners, as friends, as entrepreneurs, as you know, co-workers, as wives, sisters, everything we carry so much. So we have to remember to release. We have to remember to release because what happens is we create that masculine energy. You know, you in survival mode, you know, you in go mode. And I want to ask you, like, when the last time you just sat and took a bath? And just lit a candle and just relax and just quiet your mind. Like we have to do these things to just unwind, you know, because we take on so much and it's only so much someone can take until their cup is so empty. So we have to remember to fill our cup up first before we can do anybody else's cup. Like we are first. Our cup should be number one. We know good for our kids, our spouse, if our cup is not filled first. So I want y'all to remember that and just know that you matter and you have a voice and you come first. You have to be first. You have to be a little bit selfish, even with your time, because you matter and you come first. And y'all showed up today. Again, day 3, y'all showed up another day. So give yourself a hug. Just give yourself a hug. Like, when have you just give yourself a hug and just say, I love you, sis? Give yourself a hug. Just give yourself a hug for showing up. Give yourself a hug for keep going. Give yourself a hug for just not settling for less, for not letting anybody treat you any kind of way. Give yourself a hug for that. Like give yourself a tight hug how you would want somebody to hug you. Like give yourself the tightest hug that you can give yourself. And stay in that. Stay in that for a minute. And breathe in that. And breathe in that. Just give yourself a hug for showing up. Give yourself a hug and just tell yourself you love you. Like, I love you. I love you, regardless of whatever you've been through, regardless of whatever heartbreak, whatever pain, whatever you're grieving, whatever it looks like. Just give yourself a hug just to show you that you are loved. How can you expect someone else to love you when you don't even love yourself first? You want somebody to love you a certain way, but you got to love yourself a certain way. So give yourself a hug for just showing up here tonight. Don't that feel good? Because I feel good. That feels amazing. We have to do that more often. We have to do that more often. We have to give ourselves the love, the attention that we need. Even simple as massages. I got a massage done earlier today, and I'm like, my body was craving. I couldn't even keep quiet. I couldn't even keep quiet because my body was craving that. I had so many knots in my back. I had so many knots in my back. Like it was just, you can hear the pops just, I mean, it was it was a lot of knots in my back. It was a lot of knots in my back. And that was just from all the stress, everything that I carried from day out and day out and day out, just being an entrepreneur, being a mother, being a friend, being who I am to being for my clients, like being everybody to everything to everybody. So it weighs on you. And sometimes we have to release. Like I felt like a burden just was like released off of me. Even when I do my yoni steams, when I do my steams, I feel so free. I feel so light. Like I don't go without. I do my yoni steams once a month. Once a month. I steam once a month. And it feels, I can't imagine my life without doing it. I've been doing this now, I want to say, for probably about 15 years now. And I cannot imagine my life without steaming. Like I feel so renewed. I feel so free. I feel so sacred. So we have to make sure that we implement our self-care because this is all we have. Our body is our temple. This is going to carry us to the next level. So we have to take care of her. Like we have to take care of her. We have to. So I steam once a month. I try my best to get at least 2 massages a month. And even sometimes you probably can't afford it. You know, we got to learn how to barter with people. Like I'm on a bartering system. I promise you I am. Like that's how the Black Wall Street was. Like we need to go back to that. And it's so amazing when I hear other people like you barter. I'm like, oh, for sure. Because that's how it works. That's how it works. So if you can't afford it, work out some type of system where so you can, hey sis, I can do this. And you just never know where people will meet you at until you ask. Until you open up your mouth and you ask. And I'm learning that more and more because I'm so much to everybody. And when somebody doing something for me, I feel like, oh, no, but I have to open my mouth up too. People love and support and care about me as well. So I have to open my mouth up and ask. And you'll be surprised where people will meet you right where you are. They waiting for you to say that, actually. So opening up your mouth, opening up that throat chakra, open it up. Because sometimes when you don't, it get closed. It'd be a blockage right there. But you got to open it up. You got to stand up and you got to speak for yourself. You got to advocate for you. You got to advocate for you. So tonight, what I'm on is just so you are the sugar honey iced tea. Like that without a shadow of a doubt, and you deserve everything but the best. And you have to tell yourself that. You are the sugar honey iced tea. Yes, you are. And you have to know that. And you have to walk in a room like God sent you there. And I'm learning that more and more every day. I'm fighting through my traumas, my childhood traumas. Like it's still a process. It's a journey. It's a healing journey. And I'm doing the work. It's not like, oh, poor me. This happened to me when I was a kid. I got all these excuses. No, this happened to me as a kid. I healed my relationship with my parents before they passed. My mom and my dad, they both transitioned. And I was telling a friend of mine the other day, I was like, you know what? It's so wild because when I was a child, my mom and my dad wasn't in my life. So I've been most of my life without them. But before they transitioned, I was able to heal their relationship with both of them. Like I was in a really dark place when it came to my parents at one time because I was abandoned, I was neglected, I was abused, So I hated them for what I had to go through because of their addictions. So I hated them for that. But before they passed, my God, like I made peace with both of them. Like both of them, I can honestly say when they both closed their eyes and they cast, I just had joy because I enjoyed the time that we spent together. Because I thought they would have been gone a long time ago when I was a child, but God still spared them to be in my life as an adult. So I just give thanks for the time that I shared with them, but I made peace with them. And if I hadn't been to therapy and got the proper healing and help that I needed, I would be in a space of, angry, still angry when they're not even here. Well, when they both closed their eyes, I was at peace. Like when I say I was at peace, my dad looked so good. Like he looked so good. So I'm like, I was at peace with both of them. So I just pray that whoever's going through whatever tonight, that they will make peace with whoever, because tomorrow is not promised. Tomorrow is not promised. My parents both died unexpectedly. They both died unexpectedly. And it was the next day just like that. And I just talked to them the day before. So tomorrow is not promised. So if you can make peace, I promise you, you'll be in a much better space. Even just peace in relationships. Anybody who hurts you, right? If you can't even tell them how you feel, write a letter. If you gotta burn it, if you gotta put in a balloon, send it up. If you gotta put it in a toilet and flush it, or whatever you gotta do to dispose it, but write it out. Write it out and release it, because that's gonna free up so much. That's gonna free up so much space when you just let it go. Yeah, they hurt you. Okay, you got to let it go. You have to let it go. So, regardless of what I've been through, I'm able to say, hey, I thank God for my experiences. I've been in foster care. I've been in group homes. I've been a single mom. I've been homeless. Now I'm an entrepreneur and I have 3 amazing children, amazing little girls. They self-sufficient, they smart, they witty, they crafty, they talented. They are amazing. And they all a part of me. I birthed those queens. I birthed queens. So everything that I've been through is it's so I can look back and be like, my God, thank you so much. I thank you so much. And Baltimore, if anybody know anything about Baltimore, Baltimore is a rough place. When you make it out of Baltimore, it's like, my God. My God. You understand me? My God. It's a rough place. It's a rough place. But I'm here to say God don't bring you this far just to he take you through all the things you had to go through. I couldn't imagine, I had to go through foster care to be who I am to the youth that I reach out to. You understand? I had to go through certain things because I used to be that girl. I used to be that girl in foster care and group homes who had the attitude, who didn't want to do anything with her life, who just wanted to get money, and who the biggest dope boy I could find. Like, I was that girl. That's all I saw as a child growing up in my neighborhood. That's all I saw. The most money, the dopest cars, the biggest dope boys. That was the only aspiration that I've seen, growing up in Baltimore. Junkies everywhere. On the corner. Not just my parents addicts, my mom's side and my dad's side. They both alcoholics, junkies. Like, it was crazy. But God had to put me through all of that, all of those things to be where I'm at now. And that's something to make a bird sing. So that's what my book is about. Something to make a bird sing, because it's something to make me sing about. God brought me through that without a scar. He brought me through the fire, and you don't even smell the smoke. You don't even smell the smoke, my God. I've been through it all, and I had to go through it all because those ladies that come through Pretty Girls Wax Parlor, I've been through everything. I can let them know, hey sis, it is a light at the end of the tunnel. I've been homeless with my 2 children. I've been there. I've been homeless for 6 months in a shelter, living in Atlanta, catching a MARTA to the airport, making $8.75 an hour because I left a toxic marriage. And I was like, no, I cannot raise my daughters like this. I cannot do this. I went to the shelter. Yes. I had to humble myself. My mother told me sometimes you got to, do stuff to get to where you need to be. And I did. I humbled myself when I did. And when I did that, it was like God opened up so many amazing doors when I went to go live in that shelter. That was like the most amazing time of my life when I lived in that shelter. I met some of the most amazing women living in that shelter. I mean, amazing. I learned boundaries living in that shelter because I was able to go through therapy. They provided that. So I was able to set boundaries and not just be a doormat. Because I just was like, okay, you can do any old thing to me. I don't care. I don't care about me. Why should you? I didn't care about life. I didn't care about me. I didn't have my mother, my father. I'm taken away from my family. I didn't care about anything. So I was a doormat. I couldn't say no. You asked me, so I just was a doormat. So I learned boundaries. So everything that we go through, it gets us to the next level. And I wouldn't be relatable. How can God send me all the people that come to Pretty Girls Wax Parlor, but I never had somebody betray me, had a baby on me? I've never been cheated on. I can't relate to you. I'm not a single mother. I haven't been homeless. And the list goes on and on and on. How can I relate? How can I relate? But I had to go through those things. And coming out those things, I'm like, God, I thank you, because it's not about me. It's about the next sister, helping somebody else out. Women come to my parlor. They just sit on the couch. I had this one lady. She just said, I just want to feel good. She just said, I just want to feel good. She did a yoni steam. I made her some tea. You know, a lot of women is hit. They hurt. They hurting. You find out certain things about your spouse, you know, that's hurtful. You know, it's hurtful. So, you know, but you know, go ahead and take me through to those things so I can be a vessel and I can know, since I've been through that, it is like at the end of the tunnel. You will get through this. I've been homeless with my kids in the shelter. I've worked I hadn't even made that much, you know, that little bit of money since high school, but I had to sacrifice and humble myself at that time. So I did that. Because guess what? I had to love me and put me first. I wasn't going just because somebody had money, you know, and a status, and I'm in a Buckhead high rise. Like, no, I want a peace of mind. And me living in the shelter gave me that peace of mind. I'll do it any day. I will not subject myself just because being with somebody because of what they have and what they can offer, what they can do. You know, no, because you at the end of the day, you're not happy. You're not happy. So I got, you know, sidetracked a little bit, but I want to come back. But I just wanted to that was on my, that was flowing in me tonight. So I just wanted to share that with you. Like, sis, it's gonna be okay. It's the light at the end of the tunnel. I was a single mom with young kids and I was trying to work a job. I'm like, these people didn't fire me. I'm like, it was no way, because I always had to take off work. I always had to, you know, juggle everything. I'm talking about my kids, you know, 1 and 2 at the time. You know, I'm trying to work a job. Like, I was all over the place. If I look back, I was all over the place without a proper, you know, my mom, I was all over the place. My mom was like, you got to get a schedule. You got to get your house in order. You got to run your house like a business. And when she said that, that's when I had to, you know, I had to get everything in order. I just can't be all over the place like that. You can't be all over the place. You got to do certain things to more so just so you can release. So you can release, even if it's just going outside in your backyard or taking a walk in the neighborhood or just doing a few deep breaths a day. Like, you have to do something to release this, because it gets heavy. And it gets heavy all up in here. Then your back aching, then you cramping. When you cramping, that means you got to pay attention to your body. You cramp, when you cramping like that, when sister's like, oh, I got cramped so bad, your body is trying to tell you, hey, alert, something is not right. We have to pay attention to that, because we do come on our cycle. It's supposed to be an easy flow. We not supposed, it's a creative flow. Like, we supposed to go within when we come on our cycle, not suppress it by taking medicine and pain pills, because that creates a masculine energy. That creates that masculine energy. We want to be in our femininity. We want to be in our femininity. Like, when the last time you just took a bath, put a robe on, and it's not even, if you don't even have a significant partner or spouse, like, you just put a silk robe on for you, just to be sexy for you. Just to be sexy and show up for you. Just do a bath, light your candle, put your robe on, and just be at peace with you. Be at peace with you. And I think a lot of women do that by looking into a relationship, jump from one relationship to the next, because they can never be in peace with who they are, because they always searching for love outside of them. And I had to learn that. I had to learn that too, coming out of a marriage, being with somebody. Of course, when you used to being with somebody, you want that companionship, you know, that's what you used to, you know. But being with somebody, I'm sorry, my notes rang. But being with somebody, like, you yearn that. But then I had to reflect, like, hold on, Ronika, I gotta get to know really what I want, and you know, I gotta really get to know that, because you don't know that when you just jumping around. You gotta go within. And being single is okay, ladies. It is so okay, until you find who you're supposed to be with, and not settling for just whoever wants you. No. It is okay. You have to tell yourself, I'm the sugar honey iced tea. You have to tell yourself that. And I have another great affirmation I want to share with you guys. And this guy said this affirmation at this conference, and I never forget it. It's not even mine. Somebody else said it. I'm going to give him credit where credit is due, but somebody else said it. But he said, I am worthy and I deserve what I desire. I am worthy and I deserve what I desire. And sometimes we forget that. Sometimes we forget that and we lose that. Sometimes we lose that. Like, I am worthy and I deserve what I desire. If you just hear yourself saying it, like, I deserve what I desire. And that goes back to what you telling yourself about yourself. So if you tell yourself I'm the sugar honey iced tea, can't nobody come and tell you otherwise. Can't nobody come and tell you otherwise. So it's you got to look in the mirror and tell, what do you tell yourself? And how do you love on yourself and appreciate yourself? And sometimes you got to say good job. You got to say, goddamn, when I wrote my book, it was like, it wasn't a big deal for me. It was a big deal for everybody else. And be honest, it wasn't a big deal for me because I'm like, this is my journal. This is my real life journal that I wrote down in this book. I wrote my whole life in this book. And I did not want to, y'all. I did not want to, but God said, it's not about you. So I had to listen and be humble. And when I tell you, I kept fighting this book. I wanted to write it, but then I didn't want to write it. And it was to the point where as though I just kept on turning my back on. I just kept on turning my back on this book. But God was like, no, he sent the right people at the right time to help me with this book. And this book been through a lot. But I did not want to put this book out because it was my vulnerable, darkest secrets that I've been through as a child. Stuff my family didn't even know. So it was a lot. But guess at the end of the day, it was not about me. It was not about me. And it was so funny because when I first published my book, the company I was working for, the owner, he ended up buying every staff member, the book. So he brought like cases of the book. I'm like, oh my gosh, how these people gonna look at me? How they gonna view me now? Because that's so not me, That's not who I am now, but how they gonna look at me? They gonna know my life. Like, what have I done? But at the end of the day, I was obedient to God. It's like, it's not about you. It's about helping somebody else out because guess what? That book can help out so many people. It can help out so many people on so many different levels. Like my story in that book is people, when people read that book, they have no idea. They think they think that story is made up. They like, no way possible this happened to you. No way possible. No way possible this happened to you. But to God be the glory. I will say that to God be the glory. To God be the glory. And I did not want to put that book out, y'all. I did not, but I could not to. I didn't have no choice. I didn't have no choice. I didn't have no choice. So whatever it is that you want to do, just God, he gonna hit it. He gonna keep knocking in your face. He gonna keep knocking in your face, and you either go the other way or you be obedient and you're gonna do it. The choice is yours. The choice is yours. He's gonna keep on hitting me. I remember when I still do. I got a passion for the youth. My sister was murdered at 19. She was murdered by a gang member. She was in a gang. She was a blood, so she was murdered, when she was 19. So I have a passion to talk to the youth about gang violence, to save another youth life. That's my passion. I do that for free. I did it for free. So I'm like, God, he like, okay, you got to get back on it. You got to get back on it. I love talking to the youth. I used to do that for free. I love because I know my sister, she was looking for love and acceptance. That's what she was looking for, love and acceptance. And that's the most what people look for. It may not be joining a gang. It may be in a relationship. It show up in your friendships, who you have around, what you doing. So she was looking for that love and acceptance. That's the key. But when your self-esteem is high, when you love yourself, you have love and you have that love and acceptance. So that's what I teach the young ladies, to love themselves. For you got to love yourself first. When you love yourself first, you're not going to do anything. You're not going to be around anybody. You cannot handle any. So when you love yourself, you put yourself here. You cannot just take on any and everything. And you're not looking for outside love because guess what? You love yourself. So my passion is to minister to these young ladies, to let them know, sis, you are loved. I used to be them. Like thank God I'm here because I would have been my sister. Like I was in that street life too. Like that's who I was. I was in a fast life. I remember a friend of mine, she cried. She was like, Ronika, she cried. I used to take money from men. I used to do all types of shit. Like she cried. She was like, Ronika, she was scared that I was going to really get hurt. She said, Ronika, please just do something. Like, she was like, please, you ain't scared. Like, do something else with your life. The way you going, sis, is not it. The way you going is not it. And I had women that come into my life. My cosmetology teacher is one of them. My other teachers, but I had women that was the one too who came into my life who saw something great in me when I didn't even see it in myself. Because guess what? I'm around drugs, alcohol, prostitutes, dope boys. I'm around that all day long. So I didn't see anything in me. That's all I saw was who the biggest dope boy I was gonna mess with, how much money I was gonna get, how fly I was gonna look. Baby, that was me. But this lady was crying out. She said, Ronika, please stop. Like, stop messing with these guys. These guys is killers. Like, they dealers, they killers. They don't give a damn about nothing. They don't give a damn about nothing and nobody. And I was hanging with the toughest, roughest, rough clot. I was that girl. I was that girl. When I came to Atlanta, I was still that girl. I was still that girl, but I evolved when I was here. I evolved. I went from ghetto to goddess. I was a hot mess. My friend cried out. She's still alive to this day. This story, I was telling you, that's how I started our Sisters Project, because she cried out to me like, Ronika, please stop. Won't you help other young girls? Won't you help other young girls? Stop doing what you're doing. I was out there bad, and I didn't give a damn about nobody and nothing. I was having a good time. I was getting what I want. I was traveling the world. I was out there. I was that girl. And my friend cried out. She was like, Ronika, stop. And I listened. When I tell people, I say cosmetology saved my life. They're like, what you mean cosmetology? It saved my life because that's how I ended up in Atlanta. I came to a Barner Brothers show. And when I got to Atlanta, something in Atlanta, I said, I want to change when I move. I wanted to clean slate. So when I came to Atlanta, I was evolving into who I am now. I left all that back. I left that back home. I left that back home. That's Bird. That's a whole nother person. But I left that person back home. And when I came to Atlanta, I started evolving into who I am now, to understanding myself, to understanding me, to getting the therapy I needed, to heal my childhood traumas. I was able to do that because I was evolving. And guess what? God had to separate me. I was separated from my family. I didn't have no friends. So I was separated when I came here. And that's quite the noise. When you are separated from the outside world, when you just hone in and you just focusing on what you have to focus on. And I didn't have no friends, I didn't have nobody. And I thank God to this day that he blessed me with 3 beautiful daughters, because I was so lonely. I was so lonely here. I didn't have nobody. I was on my own, literally. I came here. My grandfather said, the worst thing that can happen, you can always come back home. He said, you can always come back home. And I've been here for about 17 years. I've been here for about 17 years. He said, you can always come back home. So I transitioned here. I wanted to be a better person when I moved here. I wanted to treat people right. I wanted to have quality friends and treat people right, because when you're growing up in foster care and in group homes, it's all about survival. So I was a very selfish friend when it came to friendships. I didn't know how to be a friend. I just knew how to survive. And a lot of people don't understand that. They don't understand your background. I'm really not selfish. I just don't understand that. But God blessed me with some amazing friends that taught me how to be a great friend. They taught me. It broke me down, but it taught me how to be a great friend. So I had to relearn a lot of habits that I didn't learn. Like, I had to relearn everything, because what I was taught as a kid, I couldn't function like that as an adult. I couldn't do that. So everything that I was taught as a kid, I had to relearn everything. So, and that's what it's all about. Just reprogramming your mind. Even when all the noise is going on, you still have to go within and say, at the end of the day, it's going to be okay. At the end of the day, regardless of what it looked like, because guess what? God can change. He can change that thing around so fast. When I say it can happen so fast, it can happen just like that. So regardless of what it is, you still got your health, your kids are safe, you got a roof over your head. Regardless of what it is, it's going to be okay. But for one, you have to take care of you. You have to take care of you and quiet the noise. And right now, to this day, the older I get, the smaller my, I have the friends that I've had my friends for over 10 years. You understand? So it's like my my quiet time, I have a lot of it now because I don't have a whole lot of outside noise. I don't have a whole bunch of friends around like I used to. Everybody want me around because I'm the party girl, the fun girl. I don't have that around a lot. So now I get to focus on me and myself and I got to take care of me first before I can do anything. Yeah, I got to take care of me before I even point to my kids. So quiet the noise to me is just letting all that outside noise go. You can't look on social media and see, compare yourself to what somebody else have and what they got. You don't know what people going through. That may be all for show. I think I saw a meme today. He said, the client stunting on social media, but coming to you and want a deal, or don't have it. Like, you don't know what people going through. And you can't, you just have to focus on what you have going on and thrive on that. But I definitely wanted to play us a little something tonight. This song right here, this artist, I hope you guys can hear, but I definitely want to play just a little bit of it. I just want y'all to close your eyes if you can, just to receive what she's saying, because it's so important. The story that you tell yourself about yourself, you got to know that you are loved. You got to know that you are light. You got to know that you create light. You create life, and you are light. And we have to walk in that. We have to walk in that and be mindful of that. And like I said, I'm walking in the rooms like God sent me there. That's how I'm showing up. From now on, when you see me, I'm walking in the room like God sent me here. I'm supposed to be here. I am supposed to be here. So I want y'all to own who you are. You got to believe it. You got to feel it. You got to know it. You have to know it. You got to know it first. So I'm going to play this little song really quick. I know I said a lot. But listen to these lyrics, y'all. And I'm just gonna play just a little bit of it. But I just want y'all just to take it in. Take a breath. Even if you don't love yourself, know that you are loved. Take a breath in that, y'all. Take a breath in that. Inhale deep. Even if you don't love yourself, know that you are loved. It's gonna be okay, sis. Even if you don't love yourself, know that you are loved. Even if you don't love yourself, that you are loved. Even if you don't love yourself, just breathe in that for a minute, y'all. Just breathe in that for a minute. Just breathe in it for a minute. Just breathe in it for a minute. I know sometimes we think about all the problems and stuff that we got going on, but we have no idea how great life is about to get. for us. We in it because we in it, but we have no idea how great life is about to be. Like, you have no idea. When I was living in the shelter, this girl told me, she said, don't focus on the red, focus on the green. And I have that in the frame. Focus on the green, because regardless of what the red is gonna be there. But the green, you gotta keep going. The green is, you gotta keep going. You gotta keep going. Regardless of what it is. Some days I don't even want to, I miss my mom so much, but I'm also so thankful that I spent so much time in wisdom that she instilled in me. I'm so thankful for that too. But sometimes I gotta quiet my own mind just to hear her thoughts and what she would say and what she would do. I gotta quiet my own self. But you can't hear that when you got so much going on. When you worrying about this, you worrying about that, you worrying about this. Let it go. Cause them problems gonna take care of itself. It's gonna take care of itself. And as I'm speaking to you, I'm speaking to me too, because I opened up a business, y'all, and I got a building. I didn't even have the finances for it. And I've been trusting God ever since. I've been trusting God, and it has not been easy. It has not been easy, my God. I don't express it to a lot of people. When they come there, I'm like, welcome to Pretty Girls. Great smile on my face. You have no idea. Welcome to Pretty Girls. But I'm telling y'all, God make a way every month. And I'm like, God, he just said, I want you to just trust me. I want you to wholeheartedly trust me. I want you to wholeheartedly trust me, like I'm gonna take care of you. Why are you stressing about this? I don't care what these people saying. I'm bigger than all those problems. And you gotta think, I'm bigger than all those problems. I said, I got all my bills. I'm coming to put all my bills. I took all my bills. I said, I'm putting these bills in the Bible. These don't belong to me. I'm putting these bills in the Bible. I'm not about to stress about these bills. I'm not about to, I'm not saying, hey, they not just about to get paid. I'm just saying, God, you know what I need. I surrender. My source comes from you. And sometimes, regardless of what it looked like, we have to quiet our mind and just surrender. And I know I have a few books that I want to share with y'all, but the biggest book that I got to share with y'all is the word. Is whatever that may look like to you is the word. Because God, you said you would supply all my needs. That's what you said. That's what you said. So that's my source. Not Instagram, not TikTok, not Facebook, not YouTube, not followers. God is my source. God is my source. And I opened up this guy said, what you was going to do? Like, what's your plan? I said, I didn't have a plan. God just came here. God just told me to move. He just told me to move. I didn't have a plan. I just saw a vision. I just saw a vision, and a vision came to life, and God sent his people to help me. He sent his people. He sent his angels to help me. His real life angels to come help me with Pretty Girls Wax Parlor. That place did not look like nothing how I look now. It was a center for autistic kids. It was red and chalkboard in the back. It was it was nowhere near what it is now, but God sent his people. He sent his people to help. And he gonna do the same for you. He gonna send his people. My friend came in there and she prayed. She said, people just gonna start giving you stuff. I got so much stuff now. I gotta give stuff away. I have to give stuff away. So regardless of what it looked like, sis, God is, if he's telling you to do it, you gotta make a way. He's gonna make a way. You just gotta act. You just gotta act. Sometimes you can't worry about how, when, where it's gonna come from. You just gotta do. And he's gonna send his people. He gonna send his people. And it only take one person to open up the door to get you to the next level. And I know this is my time. I gotta wrap it up, y'all. But I just wanted to leave you guys with that. Try to just cleanse. Anytime you go to the beach and get some ocean water, I normally take jars when I go to the beach to fill my jars up and bring those jars back with ocean water, because you can cleanse your body, cleanse your hands, your feet, your hair, like cleanse, because you're around energy and you pick up on energy. So you want to find ways just to cleanse your aura, just to keep it. You can sage, as well. You can steam, but you also wanna cleanse. Florida water, whatever you have, just to keep your energy flowing. And make sure you get 12 hugs a day. That's my time. I love y'all. Ashe, ashe. I hope whatever I said will resonate, Ashe. That's my time.
Hold on, my mic was muted. Sorry. Sis, thank you so much. That was beyond beautiful. I don't want to miss that Saturday. We are having the culminating event after our day 5. Ronika and I are hosting Relaxed and Renewed.
Yeah.
We are she's having spa services open. There's going to be massages, facials, waxings, vajacials. She has yoni
Young
steams.
things.
So services that night. She has specials on the services that night. And we're
Yes.
doing vision boards as well. It's just $10. And it's really just to cover supply costs. It's minimal. We are hosting that as the culminating event because I know we end Friday, but sometimes that energy is still there. And so we wanted to bring people together in the physical because we know this is virtual, but we have a lot of people here in Atlanta. So if you guys want to come out, we want you to. There are going to be some raffle tickets on Friday. I put out a challenge to the men. I told them we need supported and they need to provide us with these self-care services. So
Okay.
some of the men have actually been buying some of the tickets, guys. So I'm going to raffle off some of those tickets and maybe I'll take the price up and raffle off some of Ronika's services too.
Yes.
Okay. So excited about that. Thank you, sis.
Thank
And I
you.
dropped in the comments. You can say where they can find you, but I did definitely put it in the comments. Go ahead.
Okay, y'all can find me on all social media platforms at Pretty Girls Wax Parlor. We are located in Jonesboro, but Pretty Girls Wax Parlor on Facebook, IG, TikTok, everywhere. We all over. I say,
Thank
I
you,
say.
sis.
Thank you, sis.
Okay, and now, I mean, we're just gonna keep this thing moving. It's been great for those of us who joined us yesterday. Okay, because our next person is Danielle, but I kind of want to just engage you guys, because the chats have been going off. You guys, this is on YouTube, this is on Instagram, this is here, this is on Facebook in the Facebook group. This is doing so well, and I just thank everybody. I really, really do. This is bigger than what I had even imagined. I just was on a mission to do it because God told me to, but I did not know it was going to come to the level that it is coming to. Yesterday, we brought up some that wanted to engage. If anybody want to come up the next 2-3 minutes before we move to Danielle, if anybody wants to come up and speak, Nick, oh shoot, let me drop the link in the comments and tell us your experience so far, what you've learned, what you appreciate. If you did the homework yesterday about transformational language and you counted how many times you said you needed to do something and you have to do something or it was too good to be true, like, thank you, Nikki. I would love it. We just want to hear from one lady, one lady, because we don't like to hold too long. We stay on time. Anybody, or you can even drop in the comments, what you experienced, what
I wanted to know,
happened,
Amber, did you want
what
to
you
go
think a
on?
breakthrough that may have happened. I can hear you.
Did Amber, did you want to go on? You can, there you go.
Oh, hello, everybody. This is so good. This has been good. I missed yesterday, so I'll have to catch a replay. But my mindset is definitely being transformed, and just being able to be disciplined to show up for myself has definitely been another impact. So I'm so glad to be a part of this, and I hope all the women, you guys are taking away a lot of major tools being dropped for you guys.
Thank you. And you guys know Coach Amber will be tomorrow for Nourish the Soul. She is the coach for tomorrow. And I do have a special treat tomorrow as well. I'll tell you guys at the end. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you.
Thank you.
All right. And Miss Danielle, you're on mute. Yourself off mute. Now, everyone, I want to tell you guys how I came across Danielle. I am in a group of like 30,000 women, and it is called Black Women in Their 30s. And I mean, we already know how it is when we get in a group of us. We just know what it is. And what I am noticing about her energy, and I noticed it, she pretty much has pinpointed like the pain point that's going on in that group. And she is speaking to the pain that the women are experiencing. And I mean, we already know when it comes to accountability, women, we be like, oh no, that's not me. She don't know what she's talking about. So it's like one thing that I am big on is go where you are appreciated. I mean, I'm huge on it. And the nuggets that she has been dropping in that group, it's like, honey, somebody need to hear you. So one thing, if I ever have the opportunity to do something, I'm going to put somebody on the platform to be heard. So that's why she is here today, because I want her to share some of those jewels with us. I love them. I've done some of the techniques she's dropped. So without further ado, Miss Danielle, you can go ahead and take it away.
Well, thank you, Kendra. Thank you so much. So yes, I'm Coach Danielle, and it's really funny that you said that. I am an accountability and transformation coach. So I deal with that a lot of times with people that don't want to, or women especially, that don't want to take accountability for the part that they play in some of their own detriment. So without going into too much, I just kind of wanted to touch on quieting the mind and why it is important. If you see me looking over, I do have some notes, so I just want to stay on target, guys. But quieting the mind is so important because when we have a lot of stuff going on in our mind and we have a lot of distractions, we tend to become overwhelmed and we become stressed. And we know that you feel that stress in your body, right? We feel it in our joints. It messes with our cycles. It messes with our spirit. It messes with us all together. And a lot of times what that does, and with all that noise going on in our mind, it actually turns into burnout. And all the time in that group, I hear, I'm so burnt out, sis, I'm so tired. I don't know why I feel this way. I can't get up. I can't take care of these kids. We know all the things that we go through as Black women. We understand all the pain that we feel or how we don't feel like we're being acknowledged. So a lot of things that I teach is just how to quiet that mind. And I use the reference as like mental tabs, like a tab on your phone. Like how many of you, if you look at your phone right now, how many windows are open on your phone? Like take a few minutes, look at your phone and see how many windows are running in the back of your phone. It's probably like 20, maybe 10. A lot of us forget that we have stuff that's open. It's just running in the background. Well, that's how noise works in our mind. It's just running in the background. You'll have stuff in your mind way too 500. Yep. You have way too much stuff going on back there. You've got stuff that's going on back from when 1995, and you wish you would have told somebody off and you never did. And you'd have thought about, I could have said this now. And you got to quiet that, it doesn't help you because it's constantly going. And so what I teach women is how to go through each tabs and figure out which one is a priority, which one is not a priority, which one can you get to later. And we go through those things. And a lot of the things that I found out and I hear is when you're dealing with like the burnout from the noise in your mind, it messes with like your identity. You don't understand your purpose. You don't know where you want to go. You feel hopeless. And that's not true. There is hope for all of us. Yep. It's called running anxiety. Yep. It's constantly going. Thank you. So what we do is how we can close some of those tabs, or we can acknowledge which tabs are not that important. And I know a lot of us are like, well, all of them are important because I never got to them all. Well, we have to prioritize them. We can time block those by looking at each section or each block. What can you handle today? What can you handle later? What can somebody else handle? Right? And what's not important? What's something that you could just let go? What is something that's not going to make you better? So those are ways that we can close some of those tabs. One of the biggest things, guys, is when you have a bunch of mental noise in your head is, and I say this a lot, is how can you hear God when you can't even hear yourself think? A lot of times we're asking God to help us with our situations, and we're asking him to give us guidance. And we've already ran the scenario for ourselves 1,700 times. And God is just wanting to talk. He's just wanting to tell you what to do. And you can't even hear him because you're so stuck in self. Sorry, guys, that's my alarm. But you're so stuck in self. You're so stuck in trying to figure out what you want to do. And that's showing God that you're not trusting his guidance. That's showing God that you really don't want his feedback. It's showing him like, well, you got this. And one thing about God that I've come to learn is he's not going to fight you to do what's right. He's going to let you have your own way until there's no way. And then you get real quiet. That's why he comes to us in the midnight hour. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that. I hope y'all have heard that. But he comes to us in the midnight hour. His spirit speaks to us in the late night, because when spirit wants to talk, spirit comes to us when the world is quiet down. Spirit comes to us between 3 and about 5. So if you're quiet, he knows you're quiet in those hours because you're normally asleep. Even if you're one of those people that like to stay up at night, you're normally resting. So spirit can talk to you. He can get your attention, right? So let's go back into, yep, that's where Earth wakes up. Yep. So let's go back into what that noise can cause. That noise can cause procrastination. It can cause you to feel like you can't operate. You have to make sure everything is perfect, right? Before you do something, because you're like, I just want to make sure it's right. I don't want to make it look like I don't know what I'm doing. And these things are what cause us to be stagnant. What else noise will do in your mind is have you do something that I call react before you reflect. And a lot of women do that because we are emotional. We are emotional based. We are logical, but we are emotional centered. We react from our feelings. If you hurt us, we react from it. And I teach my women that come to me, reflect before you react. Because when you react, you're not in your highest self. You're not in a wise, stable self. You're reacting out of your hurt and your passion. And that's that noise. That's that noise that's constantly telling you somebody's wronged you, something has happened, something hurt you, and you're reacting because you're like, I can't take this anymore. But if you take a second and just breathe and say, okay, I'm going to reflect on this and look at it and say, what did I do first to have this happen? And why would they act this way towards me? And not saying that you did anything wrong. It's just taking accountability for yourself. Why was I here? What did I say? What did I give off? If you did nothing, then why is this person treating me this way? What could possibly be wrong with them? Maybe I need to remove myself from this company. And that helps us to not react in a way that we're not happy with. It's not about anybody else. It's about reacting in a way that we're happy and we're pleased with ourselves, right? So let's go into some things that you can do, some practical strategies that you guys can do to actually help quiet the noise. One thing I say all the time you can do is called power of brain dumping. I do this at night sometimes too. And I have a client that does this as well. Before you go into bed, you just kind of take all your thoughts and you just throw them in a notebook, or you can speak them into your phone. Like I do it on my phone. I put on my little microphone and I just ramble into the phone and say everything that's on my mind. And that way I know that it has a safe place to be and I can get back to it later instead of me going to sleep on that. Because going to sleep on that, you won't get to be able to relax. You won't relax. You won't sleep. If your mind is constantly going while you're sleeping, you're not resting. So then you wake up. And when you wake up, you're still not rested, right? Because you've been thinking all night. Another thing that you can do and to quiet your mind is breathing. And I know the sister before us was telling us about the breath work and how that works. It's mindfulness and mindful breath work. And so you just take a moment and you hold your breath in. You can do it for 4 seconds and then you let it out. And let the thoughts out with you while you're doing the mindful breathing techniques. You let it in again and you're clearing your mind. And you're letting it out. And all of the thoughts that are processing in your head are going out with them. And you can pick that back up another time. Another thing that can help you with when you are in a state of so much racket and noise in your mind is just understanding that it's okay to be overwhelmed. Life is gonna life. And what you can do is say, life, you know what, not today. And you reset yourself. You have to talk to yourself to tell yourself, not today. I'm fine with not doing this today. Job, I'm fine with not doing this today. Kids, I'm fine with not doing this today. Spouse, I'm okay with not doing this today. Like today is my mind's day to rest. So those are some strategies that you can use to help quiet the mind. I'd like to go ground. I like to go walk. I like some types of meditation music for those who like that as well. And just always know that there is a purpose for all of your thoughts, but you have to organize them so that you can find the reason why you're thinking them. They're not to be ignored. They are to guide you, but when you let them run around by themselves, they can overwhelm you. So that's really all I have for you guys this evening. I just wanted to kind of jump in and say all of those things and thank Kendra for the opportunity.
Of course, of course. And see, look at that. You were right in alignment with what we're talking about anyway, on resetting the mind and quieting the noise. Like I'm huge on quieting the noise. A
Yeah.
lot of my me time comes to me like around this time and later. This is where I brain dump. I'm glad you put a name onto it because that's what I do. I write it down or throw it in my phone. I'm like, okay, that's brain dumping. And that's part of
Mhm.
my decompression. So that's why I'm so glad that we can have these conversations, because when you hear it again, it's confirming that you're on the right track and you're doing the right things. And, or if it's your first time hearing it, you can get a game plan. But if
Yeah.
you're seasoned at hearing it, you like, oh, okay, I can try this technique or add it into my game plan or my routine. So thank you so much.
Thank
Definitely
you.
appreciate it. Let the ladies know where they can find you, follow you, or anything of that nature, please.
Okay, so I am on Facebook. You can follow me on Facebook. My name is Danielle Massey, and that's Massey. Or you can find me on TikTok, and it is transform her underscore coach.
Perfect. Transform. Let me drop it in the comment.
Okay.
Transform her underscore coach, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All righty. But thank you so much, ma'am. If you need anything else from me, please do not hesitate to reach out.
Okay, you too. Thank you.
Have a great night.
Good night.
All right, beautiful, beautiful. See, we will move it right along, won't we? Yes, we will. And I'm just going to keep it short and simple. I want to shout out, give a testimonial to Michelle Castro. Guys, she is really making this like a challenge. Every day she posts about it, and she's like, day 1 down, check. Day 2 down, check. I love it. I'm asking, not requiring. If you guys don't mind posting about this challenge, take a screenshot, send it out, tag me, tag She Is the Village, because number one, I need it for content. This is going to help me get more grants. Honestly, it does. Anytime you can show metrics and your reach, things like that, you get grants for it. But I also want to show them the impact that we can make as women when we're coming together and healing as a unit. So Michelle, thank you for doing that, because out of your posting, it gave me the idea for testimonials, and I really appreciate that. Remember, on Friday, we are doing the raffle to the vision board party. If you do want to go, please reach out to me. Just reach out to She Is the Village. I'm on all platforms, anywhere, and let me know if you want to attend and if you would like to have one be put into the raffle. Other than that, hopefully we're doing our transformational worksheets. I'm going to check back in again tomorrow. I want it to be an engagement day. We are having, after Coach Amber talks about Nourish the Soul, we are having a sound meditation session by Miss Nahibia Sonia. She is going to come in and do a sound meditation for us. She couldn't get the sound bowl just in time, but It's fine. I wanted us to do a sound bowl because she wants to do the sound meditation to guide us into our group visualization that we are going to do on Friday. So come on tomorrow and Friday, ready to embrace, ready to receive, because it's just obviously, as you see, it's growing and we're just going up from here. Thank you so much, ladies. Have a wonderful night. Mindset Reset Challenge, day 3. Check.